Assalamu alaikum. In this part, I will talk about the Damon Ultima System and its component. As we remembered from previous part, we talked about the Damon System and its philosophy. And we remember that the philosophy and its principle and philosophy of Damon System depend on 3 points. Friction, we remembered Damon System philosophy or principle depend on low friction system. Low friction meaning there is a play between the wire and the bracket. There is a space because Damon system use a passive self-ligation system or one of the type of passive self-ligation system. So, and another principle, lip bumper effect. We remembered Damon system like a lip bumper appliance. That meaning reduce the effect of the muscle on the teeth when we would put a bracket and wire. And the third principle is a posterior transverse adaptation. Due to the shape of the wire and use of light shape of the wires, there's no unique shape or not particular shape, it is unique shape. There is no wire for upper and wire for lower. So because of the shape of the wire, with copper night tie wire and use a passive self-ligation bracket with the shape of the bracket with the profile, low profile of bracket. All these meaning reduce the effect of the muscle on the system, the side effect of the muscle that restricts the movement or restricts the transverse adaptation of the teeth. So the third principle is posterior transverse adaptation. So all these 3 principles is the principles of any Damon system, any version of Damon system. And the last version of Damon system is the Damon Ultima System. In this part, I will talk about this new system. This new system is introduced by Aramco in 2021. So this is a fully re-engineered bracket and wire integrated system. As we remember from the previous or from the first part, is the first true full expression system. I talked about this system as the first full expression system. We can obtain earlier and precise control of rotation, angulation, and torque. So this is a unique system. So what is the feature of this system? When we talk about the feature of this system, we will talk about the bracket. As seen in this picture, completely re-engineered tie wing. So when you compare this system with the previous system, with the previous Damon system, and the last Damon system before the Ultima system is the Damon Q2, we see that the tie wing is smooth, and we can easily put any auxiliary or ligation. Smoother tie wing, and I will explain this point in the next slides. And also the base of the bracket. The gauge of the wire or the gauge of the base mesh is 80. So this increases the roughness and increase bonding and reduce debonding of the bracket. So this is the feature of the bracket. All these features of Damon Ultima System bracket. And also easy open and close of the door. From previous version of Damon system, we must use key. Also, we can use a probe. But when we compare this system with the previous version of Damon system, the door is easily open and closed by probe. Not need any key. And also the rhomboid shape, meaning the low profile shape. So this for aesthetic, less metal appearance. Provide aesthetic for the patient. And also presence of vertical slot. This vertical slot in every bracket to put any auxiliary, to put hook, especially when you use elastic. And I will explain all these points in next parts or next slides. Also, we have 3 options of torque. We have procline, retrocline, and neutral. So we can move every tooth individually. Also, we have extra wire meaning heavy wire, we have 1927, 2027, 2127, and all these wire, this heavy gauge wire, we can obtain all these wire in different material, in copper nitride, in titanium molybdenum alloy, and stainless steel wire. And this is the features of Damon Ultima System. When we talk about the component of Damon System or Damon Ultima System, we have two components. We have wire and we have bracket. So wire, what is the new thing in this? What is the new design in this wire? So what is the difference between this wire, Ultima wire, and other wire of passive self-ligation or other wire of previous version of Damon System? The cross-section of the wire, they change the cross-section of the wire. They change geometry of the Ultima wire by round-sided rectangular wire. So we know we have round wire like nitride wire, and we have rectangular wire such as stainless steel wire. But what is the meaning of round-sided rectangular wire? I will explain this design in the next slide. So this meaning, when we have round-sided rectangular wire, meaning simultaneous contact. So this simultaneous contact between the base of the bracket and the door of the bracket. So this pinpoint contact provides earlier control of rotation, angulation, and torque. As we remember from Andro straight wire appliance, all the information, they put all of the information in the bracket to reduce the wire bending, to reduce the side effect of wire bending in edgewise appliance by Dr. Angle. So the Ultima wires have a cross section round-sided, round rectangular. And we have many options of this wire. The first two wires are very important wires and mostly used, and most cases finish with these wires. We have 1427, 1827, 1927, 2027, and 2127. All these in copper nitride, titanium molybdenum alloy, and stainless steel. So what is the meaning of round-sided wire? I will explain this point. As seen in this picture, the previous passive self-ligation system or Damon system, the buccolingual dimension of the wire is 25, as with conventional system with Roth and MPT. But in Ultima wire, they not change also the cross-section. The cross-section is rectangular. Here, the cross-section is round rectangular, meaning the round-sided buccolingual dimension of the wire rounded, and also increase the dimension of the wire to or 27, not 25. So what is the meaning, or what is the benefit of this changing of the dimension of the wire? We know when we need more torque expression, meaning we must reach heavy arch wire, like in conventional system, 1622 or 1925 or 2025. So this meaning there is no play between the wire and the bracket. Reduce the play, meaning increase the contact between the wire and the bracket to express torque. As we know, torque information, when we need torque, meaning increase the contact between the wire and the bracket. Without any play, without any space between them, reduce the space as possible to express all the torque information in the bracket. In all types, in all systems, the bracket depth, the depth of the bracket is 28. The buccolingual depth is 28, and the height of the bracket is 22. So we need wire dimension. We increase the wire dimension, meaning increase the dimension to reach the depth of the bracket. So this reduces the play. Not as in previous passive self-ligation or in the previous conventional systems such as Roth and MBT, the cross-section wire or bocolingual dimension of the wire is 25. So the depth of the bracket is 28. So Damon Ultima increase the depth to increase the torque expression, to reach the to increase the contact or early contact between the bracket and the slot. So they change the dimension of the wire. So this is one of the cause why we call it full expression of torque. And also the round cross section, this round-sided. This round-sided, we need pinpoint contact to express torque and the round-sided to reduce friction. Because when we reach stainless steel heavy gauge wire to increase the torque expression, due to the friction, this meaning increase the friction. So due to the friction, this will reduce the torque expression. So we need system reduce the friction. So this is with passive self-ligation, but not all passive self-ligation. This passive self-ligation, rectangular wire and rectangular slot, but this system change the shape of the slot as seen in this picture, parallelogram, meaning متوازي الأضلاع, and change the shape of the wire, the dimension of the wire. All these points to reduce the friction, but express the torque. And express the torque not in the final stages, early in copper nitride wire. So this very beautiful system in Arabic. طبعا احنا دائما نتخيل دائما احنا الواير عندنا احنا دائما لازم نعرف نحط ببالنا اي سيستم تقويم الاسنان. لما عندنا احنا نقول لك الواير الدبث مال يعني نقول شلون نقول هاي سلوته 22 شنو معناها؟ احنا دائما العمق مالتها البوكو لينجوال دبث عمق البراكيته هو 28 الارتفاع مالته هو 22 زين أنا كل السيستمات اللي عندي هي عندي 25 معناها اكو بلاي بالواير لانه الدايمنشن مال الواير كل ما اكبره على مود اكثر احصل كونتاكت بس هنا احنا من البداية من الكبر نايتاي واير احنا كبرنا العرض معناه هذا نقلل البلاي زين اني حتى حطيت شكل الواير حطيت البوكولينجوال سايد على مود الحافة ما تصير احتكاك يعني هاي الحواف الحادة لهنا هاي تزيد الاحتكاك وتقلل لي من expression of torque في حين هنا الحواف شلون نقول الخفيفة اللي هي تكون round rectangular سوي لي pinpoint contact الهوريزونتال راح تحقق لي الروتيشن والانجوليشن والفيرتيكال كل ما اكبر الواير اللي هي من السكند التيما واير اللي هو 18 في 27 راح اكثر اني احصل تورك يعني احنا درينا نتخيلها بالسيستم الاعتيادي بالكونفنشنال سيستم يعني تخيلوا ريكتانجولار نايتاي واير يعني لما نوصل 16 في 22 ريكتانجولار نايتاي راح نحصل تورك بس احنا هاي الحالة احنا ما نحصلها بالسيستم الاعتيادي ماكو سيستم نحصل بيه تورك حتى الباسيف سيلف لايجيشن إلا نوصل ستينلس ستيل في حين هاي الخواص خلتنا من الكبر نايتاي إنه إحنا نقدر 90% من الحالات نفنشها راح نحكي هذا الشيء أكثر وأكثر بالسلايدات الجاية وخصوصا بالأجزاء الجاية اللي حنحكي بيها عن التريتمنت بروتوكول أنا ما راح أخلي يعني كل بارت أشرح قليل على مود ما يصير عليكم هواية لأن هذا السيستم بهواية تفرعات بهواية يعني لازم نفهم الفلسفي لازم نفهم إحنا الديزاين مال واير لازم نفهم ديزاين البراكيتات وبعدين نفهم تريتمنت بروتوكول ما راح أقدر أخليها كلها يعني شلون نقول بجزء واحد لأن حيصير عليكم كلش هوسة طبعا أنا أشكر حسن استماعكم وأي واحد عنده سؤال بخصوص هذا النظام يقدر يجزلي بمسج وإن شاء الله يوصل له كل الجواب So I will show this video. So this is the play between the wire and the bracket. So we see this horizontal and this vertical contact, pinpoint contact. So this is the passive self-ligation or a previous version of Damon. We must reach SS to express torque. and we see play between the wire and the bracket. And when obtain this play, this 12 to 13 degree in the upper side and the lower side. So this system increase the play and reduce torque expression. And we need to reach SS, stainless steel. But in Damon Ultima, we not need SS, especially in complicated cases, or only in the complicated cases. But most of the cases with copper nitride wire, we can finish it. As seen in this picture, due to the design of the bracket, parallelogram slot, and the dimension of the wire, and the design of the wire, we can obtain the torque expression with reduced play, 0 degree or 1 degree of play. But here, we reach SS, and we have 12 to 13 degree in the base or in the upper side or in the lower side of the slot. So we lost torque. So this is why we call this system is a true full expression system, because the first system we can obtain torque early as possible. And the other component of this system is the Ultima bracket design. So what is the design of this system? The design of the bracket is parallelogram slot to solve non-level slot alignment that achieve with passive self-ligation. I will explain this point. The novel shape provides slot alignment with variable torque are placed on the adjacent teeth. So what is this meaning? We obtain a straight wire appliance like Dr. Andrew. In spite of the shape of the slot, rectangular and parallelogram slots, when we put high and low torque and standard torque in all teeth, we can move the teeth or the wire straight. دائما احنا المشاكل اللي شفناها بالباسيف سيلف لايجيشن اللي حشرحها بالسلايدات الجاية ما حصلنا على السنترال لاين اب اللي هي المغزى مال دكتور اندرو، اللي هو كان دكتور اندرو يريد ستريت واير ابلاينس، يعني الواير دا يمر ستريت بأي تورك، سواء عندنا احنا البراكيت عندها هاي تورك او براكيت عندها لو تورك، كلها الواير يكون ستريت، ما يحتاج ما يكون عالي وناصي. لهذا احنا واجهناها هاي المشكلة بالباسيف سيلف لايجيشن. We have 3 options to move the tooth individually. We have neutral meaning the dot on the bracket is blue and the dot in the bracket in the retrocline is green and in the procline is red. So this is a 3 option for any anterior teeth, upper and lower. So we have a 3 option and we have parallelogram slot design. The Damon system provides precise control of rotation and angulation and torque. As seen in this picture, the horizontal contact, this provides us with rotation from the first Ultima wire, round cross section, 1427, this is the first Ultima wire. We can obtain 98 of rotation. When we complete this wire, meaning all the rotation, we can complete all the rotation and angulation. So the horizontal contact gives rotation control. And the vertical control, vertical point, the contact, we can obtain this contact in second Ultima wire in 1827. When you increase the gauge, the contact, not only horizontally but vertically. So we have 4 contacts, 2 horizontally and 2 vertically, pinpoint contact. And this pinpoint contact vertically, we can express torque and angulation. So when we need to torque expression, vertical contact. So when we need to define torque, clinically, as we remember in first part, I talked about the key of occlusion by Dr. Andrew. So the third key of occlusion is torque. So clinically, we can describe it as an inclination of dental crown anterior posteriorly in the frontal teeth and transversely in the backward teeth. So we remember that the line that bisecting the long axis of the tooth and the line that bisecting the center of the tooth, which called the facial axis, the angle between these two lines is the inclination of the teeth. And we can describe that four incisors, upper four incisors, have positive torque. The meaning of positive torque meaning the crown forward and the root backward. And from canine, upper canine, to the upper posterior second molar, and the lower incisors and canines and molars all have negative torque, meaning the crown lingually or backward and the root forward. This is the meaning of positive and high torque, or positive or negative torque. So the biomechanically, how we can describe the torque? The torsion of the wire within the bracket will increase the contact between the wire and the bracket. So this will express the torque, we express the inclination. So poor torque contact, this reduce the treatment result, reduce when in the anterior. And in the anterior, the limitation of torque in the anterior area leading to the shortening of the dental arch, and in the posterior area lead to the narrow smile. So torque is very important to produce aesthetic. The beginning of interest of torque value have been found from clinical evaluation of loss of torque with passive self-ligation. وجدوا إحنا بالباسيف سيلف لايجيشن بنخسر تورك، بالرغم من إحنا حققنا باسيف سيلف لايجيشن، قللنا الفريكشن، بس نعرف إحنا يلين باسيف وأكو بلاي هواية، نعرف هذا كله على حساب التورك. زين شلون راح نتخلص من هاي المشكلة؟ تخلصوا من هاي المشكلة بنظام الدايمون ألتيما سيستم. طبعا ال variable torque prescription أو variable prescription orthodontic، طبعا هذا الكونسبت كان by Dr. Zondi and Dr. Damon. They suggest that corrective torque value depend on many things. These things, one of these things is patient factor, patient malocclusion. So when we use torque, this depends not we have fixed torque for any teeth. For any teeth, we have positive for the upper, lower negative, and this will depend on many factors. One of these factors, the patient malocclusion. The mechanics we use, our treatment plan, the side effect of our mechanics, how to compensate with our mechanics, the periodontal characteristic of the teeth, the intra and inter-arch variable, and the class correction. So we use a class 2 elastic, we use class 3, need extraction or not. So torque depends on these factors. The concept of programming tooth guidance into the bracket rather than the wire came into the fruition in the early 1970. As we remember, Dr. Andrew put straight wire appliance. When we talk about torque, so where the torque in a previous conventional system, in Roth, in the MBT, in Andrew, to put central line up, the torque in the base of the bracket. لما نسأل إحنا عندنا براكيتات، نعرف البراكيتات موجودة بيها تورك. زين، هل نعرف إحنا بيها جزء؟ زين، إحنا عرفنا إحنا ليش نحطه بنص، ليش نحط البراكيتات بالنص؟ لأن على مود نحقق تعريف دكتور أندرو للتورك. على مود يخليه هو ستريت واير أبلاينس، يعني ماكو واير صاعد ونازل. خلى البيز أوف ذا براكت خلى بيها التورك. راح تكون coincident ويا الفيشيال اكسس وراح يمر الواير من خلالها. So we can obtain central line up when we put a torque in the base. This coincident with the facial axis. So we call it straight wire appliance. When we compare low torque between Damon Ultima and passive self-ligation, we see the torque to produce variable torque prescription, passive self-ligation not put in the base, but put in the stem, جذع. So this make a problem because the tie wing, as we remember from the feature of Damon Ultima, smoother tie wing, no difficulty. When we put the torque here, there is a the clearness is reduced. So this may make difficulty in putting any auxiliary or any ligation, any ligature wire system. So this why I call this system with the smoother tie wing, because passive self-ligation due to the torque not in the base, in the stem, this reduces the clearness between the tie wing and the bud of the bracket or the base of the bracket. But Damon Ultima, we not have any problem in this system because the torque in the slot, like in the base, we have central line up. We have the principle of anterior straight wire appliance. In Arabic طبعا احنا شفنا الباسيف سيلف لايجيشن لما نريدوا نغيرون يحطون التورك. عندنا 3 اوبشنات، يعني عندنا 3 اوبشنات، عندنا الهاي تورك واللو تورك والستاندر. لما نختارهم وش إذا أنا اختاريت مثلا السنترال هاي تورك واللاترال خليته لو تورك والكنن حطيته هاي تورك، وش إنه لا الواير صاعد نازل. ليش؟ لأنه نحط التورك هنا، نحط بالجذع. لما نحط بالجذع ما صار مبدأ السنترال لاين اب. So this is make a problem in the finishing. vertical problem راح نلاقي صاعد ونازل، معناها نحتاج أكثر finishing vertically أكثر شيء، وهذا راح نشوفه بالديمون كيو والكيو 2 last version of Damon system or passive self-ligation. We not because of the torque in the stem not have any central line up, because we have high. If we put high, standard, low, due to the different inclination in the stem, due to the torque in the stem, so this make the face of the bracket not straight, high and low. So this meaning there is a vertical problem. And we remember that the high torque we have red dot, and the standard we have a blue dot, and low torque we have a green dot. If this color, we can't see this color in the bracket for any cause. How we can know this high torque and this low torque? If we see that the face of the bracket is low, as in the incisally, directed incisally, so this meaning low, meaning high torque. يعني دائما لما نشوف وجهه مجفي كأنه رايح incisally، معناها أني هاي البراكيتة لو تورك. إذا أني اللون انمسح من البراكيتة، أريد أعرف البراكيتة هاي لو هاي لو ستاندر، شلون أعرفها؟ راح أعرفها من الشكل. إذا مجفية لي جوا معناها هي التورك مالتها عالي، إذا مستطيلة معناها هي ستاندر. if rectangular is standard. if the slot is the face of the bracket is high toward gingival, this meaning low torque. So high meaning low torque, low meaning high torque. So if the color disappear for any cause on the bracket, so we can obtain, we can know the torque from the shape of the slot. So the passive self-ligation due to the inclination of the stem, changing the inclination, this causes vertical problem, meaning tooth up and tooth down, and this need more finishing. So in Damon Ultima system, we have this problem can't then this problem disappear. Why disappear? This problem disappear because the bracket, the slot in the slot, the torque in the slot, meaning like in the base, with coincident with the facial axis. In the slot, like in the base, not in the stem and changing the inclination of the tie wing on the stem of the bracket, and this will will make a vertical problem and need more finishing. In Damon Ultima, this problem reduce because we obtain the same concept of Dr. Andrew, straight wire appliance, because we put the torque in the slot, like the torque in the base, constant with the facial axis, to express the torque, and to put the same principle, central line up. When we put high, low, standard torque in all the teeth, we not have any problem, any vertical problem. Thank you for your listening. I hope this part helped you. And in the next part, I will explain the treatment protocol of Damon Ultima System, how we select the wire and how we choose the bracket torque, and also the clinical effectiveness. Thank you for your listening. If you have any question, please put your question in the message in my YouTube or in email. Thank you for your listening.